Welcome to Rose Hill High School at the launch pad at the high school gym for the first of two varsity basketball games tonight. It'll be the varsity girls versus the Clearwater varsity team, and then after that we will start a new stream where the varsity boys will take on the varsity boys from Clearwater. Visiting Indians tonight are the girls are 4-1 on the year. The Rockets are 1-4 so far this year. Won their very first game, have not been able to put together another win since then, have struggled with getting the ball in the hoop. They're aided tonight by the return of senior Bridget Moore, coming off of, let's call it knee repair after softball season. And so she is a shooter and a scorer, so it'll be nice to have her back on the hard floor for the Rockets. Also starting tonight for the Rockets will be Avery Hotovy, Addie Rockley, Kaiten Barb, and Josie Palmer. The visiting Indians are 4-1 on the year, have been a pretty good scoring team. This is going to be a tough night for the Rockets if they're not able to get that ball in the hoop. Last home game, they were only able to get the ball in the hoop for free throws for the first half. So let's see what happens if Bridget decides she's going to pull the trigger on her shooting tonight and get herself started back in the game. Avery over to Bridget, to Addie Rockley. Avery drives, is not able to get it in the hoop. Not a bad drive to start the series. And Clearwater's going to get the basketball. Clearwater boys, when they play the Rockets tonight, both teams are 2-3. Based off the schedule, I'd have to give a little bit of an edge to the Rockets, who won their first two games and have played tough opponents in the following three. Lost to Andale by 9 points, had 23 turnovers in that affair. According to Coach McDaniel, they had their chances. They just were not able to finish. So they'll make whatever adjustments they have to make to get that happen. But to the girls' game right now, neither team has scored yet. We're 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Again, on paper, Clearwater's probably got the edge by schedule and also the number of points they've scored versus what the Rockets have scored, which has been their deficiency so far this year. A three attempt by Clearwater, no good. Rebound by Rockley. Avery Hotovy's going to drive. Feeds it to Kaiten. Takes a three, no good. Short. Rebound underneath and a foul. And Bridget's going to go to the line for two. Based off of last year, Bridget is not afraid to shoot the ball. So we'll see if that'll translate to some points for the Rockets, which they desperately need this year. Be very quiet during free throws. And the Rockets have their lead. 1-0. Rockets up 2-0 early on in this contest. The home team strategy of covering up the opponent's hoop with saran wrap is working well so far for the Rockets. Bridget trying to get herself open for a three. Gets it into Addie, who's had plenty of looks this year. Unfortunately, that has been an issue. She's been away from basketball, I believe, for a couple of years. So she's getting the ball. She's got the athleticism. And if she can get that touchback of kissing the ball off the glass again in the hoop, the Rockets are going to get plenty of points from her. And then if Bridget can get hot from the three-point line, they should be in good shape. Nice feed to the inside by the Indians, but no good. Here comes Bridget up the floor. Kaiten was calling for it. And Bridget could not get it to her. Rockets up 2-0. Josie driving on her right, trying to get a little space, does not get it. Tries a back pass to Caton. Caton was not ready for it. And here come the Indians, but a nice steal by Bridget, who, if nothing else, immediately brings some instant energy to the team that they needed really badly. Avery gets it. There's Bridget's first 3 attempt of the year. No good. But she's going to need to take some to get used to it. And Caton fighting for the ball underneath. Foul is called. Caton's going to inbound for the Rockets underneath the thrown basket. Not a great inbounds pass, and Clearwater takes it. Nice ball movement by Clearwater, and Avery's going to get called for blocking. And Avery's going to give the Rockets their first team foul. Bridget's going to take a break. Has not been able to play any game with the team so far. Believe this is her first night back unless she played for Andale, and I just was not aware of it. Clearwater gets their first bucket of the night, and we have a tie game at 2. And what the Rockets absolutely cannot do is let the other team get on a run and get hot. Brindley's in the game, who's done a really good job in that starting position while Bridget's been out. So it's given her plenty of time. Caton working to get underneath and cannot get there. They're going to call 3 seconds. Caton was underneath there. I'm always fascinated when referees do and do not call 3 seconds. It's one of those calls that could probably be made on every possession by every team ever that play basketball, but they called it there nonetheless. Clearwater moving the ball really good, but she traveled on her way in. So neither team really setting a good standard for itself right now. Tied at 2. Rockets have gotten their 2 points off of free throws. Rockets inbound the ball. Clearwater at a full court press. Shot from the side. Rebound by Addie, and she gets 2. And that's what they've been needing this year. Good for Addie. Clearwater definitely has size on the interior, but I got to say the Rockets have pretty good size for a young team as well. They're going to call a blocking foul on Josie. Two team fouls on the Rockets and 2 on Clearwater. Remember, if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler that has a team pass, steal by Brindley, and a layup does not get in. Not strong enough on her own near side of it, but she recovers quickly on defense. If you have a middle school or a high school with an activity pass, their admission to the games is free. Bridget back into the game for the Rockets. And Brindley's on the floor. So Avery's taking a break, and Jocelyn's in the game for the Rockets. Nice move by Josie. As one of the coaches was saying, if the team will just play good, sound, basic basketball, they'll be in better shape, and that's an example of what they're looking for. Nice feed to the interior with Clearwater. The Rockets were there. Probably lucky a foul's not called. Jocelyn tried to chase the ball down and could not get to it. Possession goes to Clearwater. And at the first time out, the Rockets are up 6-2. Be sure to stop by the concession stand tonight for some ice cream or walking taco. I believe they'll also have T-bone steaks tonight, but it's like a 4-hour wait. So good luck to you on that. The dreaded "Here we go Rockets" chant does its job. Looking for a pretty good crowd tonight. Congratulations, by the way, to 7th grade girls basketball team winning their league championship this last week. And congratulations especially to the basketball players and cheerleaders who, quite frankly, were not treated well. The cheerleaders found their bags saturated with pop and popcorn, kept their heads held high, and congratulations to them for having a good season and showing good sportsmanship. Inbounds by Clearwater. Foul's called on Josie. I don't know that there was a travel before the foul was called. That's going to be 2 on Josie, so she's going to have to go have a seat. Avery's in the game. What they'll give up on size with Josie, they definitely pick up in speed with Avery. She can chase just about anybody down. And Clearwater having a hard time finding a rhythm this quarter. Rockets defense. There's Bridget. And foul called. Clearwater, that'll be the 3rd team foul. Both teams have 3 team fouls. So 5 team fouls, the teams will go into bonus, but good to see Bridget willing to dive on the floor and test that leg out in action. Avery to her right. Bridget for a 3. No good. And Avery reached over to try to get a rebound. Foul's going to be called on her. And that's Avery's second, so she's going to have to come off the floor for a little bit. Caton's coming in. Congratulations to the boys swimming team. Took 2nd place at their meet this last week. The hybrid Rose Hill Circle swim team is having a good time. So congratulations to them. Nice stuff. A little bit of a dive to get the foul. Nothing is called. So here comes Bridget. Rockets with about a minute and a half. They do have 2 players with 2 fouls. You don't want to see that at the end of a first quarter. And Addie with another shot to the interior, and I'm telling you, if they can get Addie Rockley heating up and find her rhythm, and then if Bridget is able to bring her scoring that she had last year, I think the rest of the team is going to benefit from that as well. Foul on Bridget. That's going to put Clearwater in the bonus. Rockets up 8-2. Visiting team, so we don't whisper quite as much. But it's still good. 8-3 Rockets with about a minute 15 left. Second one is good. So it's 8-4 Rockets with about a minute, just over a minute left in the first quarter. And what the Rockets do not want to do is cough this ball up on a turnover. They want to use all of this clock and hopefully come away with some points. Adding to the middle, back out to Caton. 10 on the shot clock. They're going to call a foul on Clearwater. That'll be their fourth team foul. So next foul, Shockers will be in the bonus. Shot for three, Bridget off. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Clearwater with the drive and a block by Brinley. Ball still in play, no call. All the players, I think, were waiting for a whistle. It was a clean block. It was just bodies hitting the floor. About 1 second differential on the shot clock, but there's a foul. It's going to put Caton to the line. Both teams in the bonus. Rockets up 8-4 with 26 seconds left. Shot clock will be off. We go back to full whisper because it's home team. And she missed the first one. She'll have a second one here. A chance to extend the lead, 5-4. And she sinks the second one. So that'll put the Rockets up 9-4. 26 seconds left. Shot clock is off. And again, by the record, I think we'll see a tighter three quarters, but the Rockets have played well here. And what they don't want to do is foul and give up shots and turn off the clock. Let Clearwater earn these last points. 1 second left, and they were not watching. And just like that, at the end of one, the Rockets are up 9-4. Our first cheer off of the night. And Clearwater is not participating. Rockets win by default. So we have two themes going on tonight. The cheerleaders have the ugly Christmas, I hope it's ugly Christmas sweater night, where I've just insulted the entire cheerleading team. And then ESPN night. So we've got our ESPN announcers down here. I'm not sure what the rest of the school is doing for ESPN. But got Dick Vitale. Maybe a little Jay Billis. Charles Barkley on the mic with Dick Vitale the other night. Good to see those two together. Rockets are going to inbound here, starting the second quarter. Rockets working the ball around. I think Bridget had a pathway to get to the rim, and she just didn't see it to her right. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Bridget takes her three. Short off the front of the rim. Clearwater with the rebound. And here come the Indians. Kaylee Davis into the game, has a block, and they called a foul on her, which is okay. Little peculiar given the contact that they didn't call in the first quarter, but that's okay. Bridge is going to go take a break already. Visitors to the line. No good. First one was made. Turnover for the Rockets, and something they desperately need to avoid tonight is just turning the ball over. Avery in the game for Brindley. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter in this first half. Turnover by Clearwater. Rose Hill's playing some really nice defense tonight. And I have to say that's been a strength of their team this year, I think, is being physical and playing good, hard defense. They're going to call Caton for a travel. She appeared to come off of her pivot foot. And Clearwater coming back down 9-5 to the Rockets. Three attempt by Clearwater. They get their own rebound. An attempt to put back, no good. Foul is called on the Rockets, and I hope that maybe on Avery. No, it's called on Kaylee. So just like that. Kaylee's got 2 fouls. She's going to take a break. Addie Rockley's coming back in. And the Rockets really have a decent amount of depth, especially on the front line. So second one's good. Rockets have not scored this quarter yet. They really need to get some points on this possession, or it'll be death by attrition. Caton for 3, no good. Just to the right and comes off the backboard. Clearwater feeds it on ahead, and they get 2 points on the transition. And here comes Avery. Rockets up 9-8 and have not put together an offensive identity this quarter at all. Josie called for Avery to come in. Avery got it and drew a foul. That'll be Clearwater's first foul of the quarter. And Caton's going to inbounds underneath. Bridget's coming back in for Jocelyn. Jocelyn's getting a break. Timeout is called. Still time to make it tonight for the second half of this game if you have not started to get out of the house yet. We do anticipate a fairly full crowd tonight. It's the final game of the semester before holidays against a rival in Clearwater. Plenty of food for you to get tonight. And the Rockets are back at it. Avery inbounds. Out to Bridget for 3. In and out. And Clearwater has a chance for a lead. Tried with the layup and then a response on the rebound. Put back, no good. Bridget comes away with it. Bridget to Avery. Swings over to Caton. Bridget for three. Short. Be sure to stop by the concession stand and get yourself a frozen pickle puck. Turnover by Clearwater. Couldn't handle it. Yes, you heard that right. A frozen pickle puck. Pickle juice that's been frozen in a little cup for your enjoyment. Double Dog dare you to get one and ask them to substitute 4 or 5 of them for your ice. Call it the pucker up. So go to the stands and ask for the pucker up and see if they have any idea what you're talking about. Be a foul on Clearwater. 2 team fouls each. Bridget for 3. That had to feel good. Getting her basketball legs back underneath her. A scoring option the Rockets have needed. 12-8. Rockets up with about 4 minutes left to go in this first half. Turnover by Clearwater. Bridget for another 3. She gets it. And when she heats up, ladies and gentlemen, she heats up. 15-8. And Clearwater looks a little bit out of sorts right now. Avery's going to be called for a foul, a reach in. That's going to be 3 on Avery. So Hannah Reeves is going to come in for Avery and give her a break. But Coach T. Allen Smith must feel like he just struck gold. Suddenly he's got a scoring option. Well, they're going to call Addie for a foul. I think they could have called an offensive foul there, but either way, definitely contact. Not a bad call. And they're going to say she was shooting, so no good on the first one. And no good on the second one. Rebound by Caton. Swinging the ball out nicely to find Bridget. And I think this crowd would have gone a little stir crazy if she'd hit that. Rockets up 15-8 with 3 minutes left to go. Clearwater attempting the 3, and their offense is sputtering tonight. They are 4-1 going into this game and have really acquitted themselves pretty well. And the Rockets are 1-4, so this has to feel a little bit different than what they anticipated. Caton traveled. Not a good possession for the Rockets. There were a couple of passes. They just didn't seem to know what they wanted. And now's the time they're going to want to keep their foot on the gas. I was going to say keep their foot on the throat, but that seems inappropriate for high school sports. But you know what I'm saying. And Addie she reached over just a little bit in the process of shooting, and that's going to put Clearwater in the bonus for the night. Excuse me, we had the bonus up already for this quarter and did not reset it. So Clearwater's in the bonus, but they have not been able to make their free throws tonight. And Addie's going to have to take a break. That's 2 on her, and with Kaylee already having 2. She makes the second one. 15-9 Rockets, and what the Rockets do not want to do is cough up the lead due to turnovers. In the last couple of possessions, their passes have just not been that sure. Bridget with the three. No foul called. From this angle, I could not see the contact. But Clearwater transitions it to two. And now it's 15-11 with just under 2 minutes left. And the Rockets are in a danger zone here. They want to score, but they do not want to rush their shots or turn the ball over. And they're just not sure-handed right now as they're passing to each other. Josie with the two. Minute and a half left. And Clearwater is down by 4. And Clearwater is in the bonus. Shot in the interior, no good. Second follow-up is good. And Clearwater down by 2. And it looks like Coach Smith is going to bring in Taryn and Michaela. Maybe a little more sure-handed. But they are just coughing that ball up and letting Clearwater right back in the game. They missed the layup. Here comes Brindley. Brindley for a three. And they gave it to her. And shot clock is off. Clearwater can tie it or take a lead with a three. Clearwater is in the bonus, and nice block by Jocelyn. But Clearwater ties the game with just under 10 seconds left. Bridget's going to go for a three. Does not get it, but Caden with her putback. And they end the half much better. And at halftime, Rose Hill Rocket varsity girls are up 17-15 over the visiting Clearwater Indians. We will let them get their orange slices and Gatorade, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Rose Hill High School for second half of varsity basketball. Rose Hill girls taking on the girls varsity basketball team from Clearwater. Rockets up 17-15 over the Indians at halftime going into the third quarter. Rockets have played really well. They've welcomed back Bridget Moore back to the lineup, who has a few three-pointers, getting her shooting legs back underneath her. They will have some fouling issues they're going to have to take care of. I believe Avery has 2, Addie I think has 2, Kaylee has 2. So they're going to have foul issues to deal with, but they're well-spent fouls. It's kept them in the lead 17-15. Clearwater has not been able to put together a regular kind of offense. The interior for the Rockets has posed a real problem for them. So we'll see how we do going into the second half here. Be Clearwater possession to start the quarter. 17-15 Rockets. And here we go. Not too late to get down here. Enjoy 2 great basketball games tonight. It's a Rivals night. It's ESPN night for the student section. Ugly sweatshirt night for the cheerleaders. Last game going into the Christmas break. And we have pickle pucks. And Addie with a quick foul to start, and that's really not what they wanted to start with. That's 3 on Addie Rockley. And coach is going to let her try to play through it. Inbounds to Clearwater. Three attempt by Clearwater, no good. Rebound by Clearwater. Addie comes down with the rebound on the second try. And here comes Bridget. Little loose on the pass. Again, this was a problem for them in the first half. Maybe a lack of crispness in the passes that caused them to get some turnovers ending the second quarter. Hopefully they can clean that up. Passing around the horn here. Caton was going to go for 3, could not get a handle. Goes for a long 2, no good. Rebound, Clearwater. And I have to say, the Rockets have done a good job, I think, of keeping Clearwater from getting any kind of a established rhythm. And another example there is a turnover. It's taking Clearwater every bit of a quarter to find some rhythm. I think perhaps it's the green and red socks that the Rockets are wearing tonight in celebration of Christmas. Don't forget to come and ask for a frozen pickle puck when you come to the concession stand. If you want to try the pucker up, we'll call it a Dr. Pepper with 3 pickle pucks in it. We'll sell it to you for a reasonable $10. Seems like a great way to spend your Friday night. Nice pass to the interior by Clearwater, and they tie the game. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Bridget felt the 3, but I don't know that it was a good 3 for her to go for. They're going to call it a tie-up. It'll be Rocket ball. Rockets will inbound. In for the Rockets is Avery, Caton, Addie, Bridget, and Josie. Josie gets fouled, Josie passes to Caton, makes the basket and gets fouled. Chance for a 3-point play. And Rockets take the lead again, 19-17. And they're going to say Caton stepped over the line, but it seems like a premature call. Huh. I did not see her do it, but Okay. They're going to call Bridget for a travel. So Clearwater is going to get the ball down by 2. Just over 5 minutes left to go in this quarter. Each team with 1 team foul, just in case you're ever looking at the scoreboard that we have on live and wondering about fouls and timeouts and is it accurate. We are keeping track separately from the score table. And by we, I mean me. And so if it's ever off, I'll own that. And Clearwater's going to inbounds. Josie and Addie are going to take a break. Jocelyn's in. Avery's in. Brindley's in. And Bridget and Caton. Bridget fakes the 3, and they're not going to give it to her this half. Yeah, as soon as she's getting the ball, somebody is out to greet her. So she's going for a few fakes here. Caton Barb gets thrown to the ground, no call. So the coach evidently has told his team, you can let anybody beat us any way you want, but you're not letting Bridget score 3-pointers out of this gym. So Bridget's going to have to find a new way to create. And she does by just taking a quick one. And they did not come out to see her, and they paid the price. First time in the half where Bridget is lined up for a 3, and they just stared at her. Rockets up 22-17, and this has breathed new life into the Rocket offense. Timeout is called. New life has been breathed into the Rockets now that they have a scoring option. I believe that's 4 threes for her on the night. So coming out of the timeout, Kaylee Davis is going to come in for the Rockets. Jocelyn's going to stay in there. So is Avery, Brindley, and Bridget. And even if Bridget doesn't shoot any more threes, as long as she's on the floor, it's going to cause Clearwater to have to think about it. Rockets up 22-17 with 3.5 minutes left. Nice feed to the interior, and Brindley's going to get called for illegal use of a shovel. That's Brindley's first foul, and team's second. And the first one's good. To any of our visitors from Clearwater, get your ticket stubs out. Get them ready. My producers are here. Have you guys found any more celebrities today? You're not celebrities. What? Is he moving back to Rose Hill? Okay, my producers have found Spencer Nolan, but there's nobody else here we could interview. Find somebody popular. I got you. Them. No, I trust them. I'll trust her too. I trust you 3. You 2. Exactly. That's why I trust those 3. Move on. I know who. For those of you wondering, well, last home game we had Spencer Nolan here, Rose Hill graduate, and TikTok famous, 1.5 million followers. And so my producers who found him, and by producers I mean Emma Carr and Brinley Liebel, I told them if they find anybody else famous, let me know. And now everybody wants in on the action. Here comes Bridget. Rockets up 22-18. 2.5 left. Nice battle on the interior, and Kaylee gets 2. And I tell you what, when somebody becomes a hot shooter, it's contagious. Everybody else feels like they can. And we're getting some points tonight that we have not had so far this year. 24-18. I believe the ref just signaled the floor is lava. Called a foul on Kaylee. That's going to be her third and the team's third. So coach is going to sit her. And Addie's sitting now with a few as well. Clearwater trying to inbounds, down by 6. 2 minutes left. Nice block by Caton. And then the Clearwater player tried to knock it free and knocked it out of bounds. So here's where the Rockets have struggled this year, is closing out the quarter strong. I think they get the clock going in their heads, and the passes become a little bit weaker and the dribbling becomes a little more unsure. So can they tighten that up a little bit, talk and play with them some enthusiasm, because they're playing really, really well tonight against a 4-1 team. Addie, top of the key. Bridget calls for it. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Caton set a screen and got knocked over. No call. Layup for Clearwater. If you're a visitor from Clearwater, get your ticket stub out. If you're in section 202, row E, seat 35, you have won free ice cream for the rest of the night. Take your ticket stub, go to the concession stand. Addie Rockley with the sky hook. And this team has figured out they can make the baskets, and points are good. Free ice cream for the night. Just take your ticket stub, go to the concession stand, ask for Bob. He'll give you all the ice cream you can handle for the rest of the night. Brindley knocks the ball out of bounds. And Clearwater's going to inbounds the ball underneath their own basket with 49 seconds left. A three. And again, Rose Hill, closing out a quarter, is struggling making sharp passes. Brindley's inbounding. Gets it to Caton. Crosses the Mason-Dixon line. Gets it to Michaela. No good. Clearwater ball. Shot clock will be off. There's 27 seconds left. And I believe they called Caton, which, as much as she's been knocked around tonight, there's an irony to her getting called for the foul. 4 team fouls. Caton's first. Taryn Beery's in the game. It'll be Taryn, Jocelyn, Brindley, Addie, and Michaela. 10 seconds left. Rockets up by 3. And Clearwater makes a 3 and ties the game to end the quarter. And at the end of 3, the Rockets are tied with the Indians at 26. And now time for the end of the third quarter cheer off featuring your Rose Hill Rockets and the ugly Christmas sweaters. And they win by default because they're the only ones on the court doing it. Clearwater's in the corner. Rose Hill's here. Flipping, some stunts going on. Definitely the edge goes to the Rockets. So we're going to go to the fourth quarter. The game is tied at 26. Rockets have played very well. However, their end of quarter issues are catching up with them a little bit. We'll have Bridget back on the floor, Michaela, Addie, Taryn, and Jocelyn. Jocelyn looking for a place to inbounds. It gets it to Bridget. Bridget driving to her left. Tried to get space for a 3, could not get it. Has the ball back at the top of the key. A lot of reaching in, but nothing being called. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Michaela's going to take a break. Here comes Brinley. Jocelyn's going to inbounds it. Gets it inside to Taryn. Taryn gets double teamed and the ball is stolen from her. Nice block by Addie. Clearwater driving to their left. And Bridget trying to get it to Taryn, but maybe didn't get it to where she was ready for it. Caton, Josie, and Avery coming back on the floor. Brinley getting a break. Jocelyn getting a break, and Taryn getting a break. And this lineup has been good for the Rockets, with the exception of having foul issues with it. Addie tries to get out to stop the 3. No good on the 3 attempt. Avery comes away with it and is flying down the court and pulled up with nowhere to go and traveled with it. And Coach T. Allen's telling her, you need to look ahead to where you're going to go before you stop. 1 minute has gone by. Neither team has scored. Tied at 26. Congratulations to our men's synchronized swimming team, league champions, 5th year in a row because nobody else has a team, and so we're going to claim the championship. Under the leadership of Scott Carr. Come on, sing along at home if you know it. So with 6:59 left to go in the game, Rockets are tied with Clearwater at 26. Rockets at 1-4, welcoming back Bridget Moore to the lineup tonight. Clearwater Indians at 4-1. And I would say the difference in the game has been Rockets have played some really, really great defense. Very hard to work through. And Clearwater has not had a good rhythm all night. Bridget going for the steal, does not get it. Clearwater posts up for a three, no good. Addie and Bridget come down with it. Bridget's trying to look on ahead. Gets it to Josie, takes a two, no good. Josie had some room maybe to drive. Clearwater pushing it on ahead on the fast break. They pull up. Rockets up. Okay. Bridget called for a foul. Refs have let them play pretty physical tonight, so some of the tic-tac fouls are a little surprising. Clearwater gets it inside to the interior, and they're up by 2. And Rose Hills just is a test of their composure tonight. They've played a great game. They cough it up. Clearwater cannot get anything on the interior, and they're going to call Bridget for reach in. That's 3 on Bridget. What's up? How you doing? T. Allen's calling a timeout. I don't blame him. Time for a cheer off, accompanied by the band. So T. Allen called for a timeout. Rockets are down by 2. They've actually led a good part of the game. Coming out on the floor is going to be Bridget, Avery, Brinley, Caton, and Josie. Another calling an offensive foul. Away from the ball, it's just a little peculiar. They haven't called much away from the ball, but now all of a sudden they're blowing whistles. I mean, not complaining. Unless it happens to us, and, then of course it shouldn't have been called because we're the Rockets. Oh, called a travel, and T. Allen's is, if you've never seen that many whistles in 1 minute, well, congratulations, it's happened tonight. I don't know that Brinley traveled, but Rockets down by 2. Pass to the interior. Clearwater does not get it. And Bridget brings the ball up, gets it to. Nice passing around. And Avery ties the game. Tie game with 5 minutes left. The Rockets needed that. Three attempt, no good. Avery races to it. Avery tried to pass on ahead, but I don't think she was ready to pass. And Brinley was definitely not ready to receive it. It was just not a well-timed play for them. Tied at 28. Clearwater's got the ball. And we're at the point of the game where a turnover can cost you the whole game. Clearwater for a three, and they have not hit their threes tonight. I'm going to guess by the amount that they've been shooting them tonight that they've typically hit them. Bridget with the spin around, and Rockets need to double down on their composure tonight. This game is within reach, but another turnover on a bad pass. Clearwater with a three. No good. Rebound by Avery. And a little miscommunication again from Brinley and Bridget, probably from not having played together in the game very much, as Bridget's back tonight. And again, she may have been back against Andale, and I just didn't see that. But give and go by Josie. Caton with two. And I get the impression the girls know they can win this. So if they could just stop with the turnovers, this game is definitely within their reach. A drive, no good, pulled down by Caton. Here comes Bridget. Pass to Avery. Over to Brinley. Coach is trying to talk to Caton, but I think it actually, Caton wasn't sure what was going on at that moment. Caton's taking a break. Jocelyn's in. Addie's back in. Bridget's taking a break. Jocelyn posts up at the free throw line. No good. Rockets up by 2 with 2.5 minutes left. Clearwater has been teasing that three all night. There's one, and it's good. Here comes Brinley. Brinley over to Avery. Brinley with the shot. Jocelyn with the follow and is fouled with under 2 minutes left. Jocelyn can tie the game and give the Rockets a lead. Now we have to be quiet because it's free throws for the home team. In and out for Jocelyn. Bridget's coming in for Josie. And Caton's going to come in for Jocelyn. Coach is going to bring Brinley out instead. And Jocelyn's going to go for her second one. Quiet during free throws. It's good. Jocelyn ties the game. And Jocelyn has become a nice bench player for this team, giving him good minutes. Tie game with 1:55 left to go. Timeout's called by Clearwater. Come on, if you know the words, sing along at home. So, a minute 55 left in the game. Tied at 31. Coming on the floor for the Rockets will be Avery, Bridget, Brinley, Caton, and Addie. Clearwater nearly dribbled out of bounds there. Pass over to the swing, over to the side, off the backboard. Shot and a foul. Gives the Rockets 3 team fouls. They have a little bit of change there before bonus. No good on the free throw. Addie with the rebound. Avery's bringing the ball down. Again, end of the quarter, the Rockets have struggled with turnovers. Avery no good on the drive. Minute and a half left. Timeout Clearwater. So Rockets down by 2 with just over a minute left to go in the game. Ladies have played very well tonight. Definitely welcoming back Bridget, who was very hot in her shooting in the first half. Cooled down in the second half. Has still made a 3, but they've jumped out to defend her much more quickly. So the Rockets really need to find another scoring option. Addie Rockley has been making some nice shots tonight too. Don't forget about boys varsity basketball, which will start after this game. We will end this feed and restart a new feed for the boys game. Scheduled to start at 7:30-ish, depending on how late this goes in warm-ups. Clearwater with the drive, and they call a foul. That's 14 fouls on the Rockets, and that'll be 4 on Avery. And the first one's good. Next foul for the Rockets will put Clearwater in the bonus. They're going to call Avery for a travel. She received the pass from Bridget, was still moving a little bit. Avery's going to take a break. Josie's back in the game. Rockets down by 4. Nice block by Addie, but it's rebounded on the other side. Rockets down 31-37, and they've led a good part of this game. But turnovers toward the end of every quarter has hurt them. Bridget with 3, just off to the right. And down by 6 with 30 seconds left. They're going to have to start fouling, and that's going to put Clearwater in the bonus. So Addie's out. That was her 5th foul. Rockets down by 7. They do not have time for a lot of maneuvering here. They've got to get a shot off. They're looking for the perfect one, and it does not exist anymore in this game. They need somebody to shoot it. Josie gets it and gets fouled. With 8 seconds left, the Rockets are down by 5. So they really need Josie to make this one, and then a little bit of serendipity here. And Coach Smith is going to call his last timeout. Rose Hill down by 5 with 8 seconds left. They have played an amazing game tonight. Have definitely welcomed back Bridget Moore to the lineup. Addie Rockley also turning in a great performance tonight. Fouls have not been their friends, and turnovers have not been their friend either. Josie's on the line, can bring it within 4. And they're going to have to foul almost immediately after she either makes it or misses it. No good. Hit the rim. Bridget comes out. Does not have time to dribble a lot. She takes the 3 and gets it. And time is up. They did not foul quick enough. They gave it their best shot. But the Rockets, at the end of 4 quarters, the varsity girls lose 36-38 to the Clearwater Indians. A good game for the Rockets. I think a good sign for the rest of the season and something good to think about. Nobody likes a loss, but they played very well. Good defense, clean up on the turnovers, and they should be in better shape going into the new year. We are going to go take a break while they get ready for the boys to get ready to play their game, and we'll be back in a little while on a new feed.